divas! Hope you're all fierce. Welcome to The Performer's Path, the podcast where we delve into the highs and lows of the performance industry and beyond. If it's using your creative juices for onstage, in auditions, or those in between jobs, we discuss it all with real people in the industry who've been there and got the t-shirt as a gift. By discussing audition rejections and success, we're taking away the fear of the unknown, whilst also giving vital tips for success. So let's tread the boards together in this week's episode. In episode 2, Amy tells us to feel the fear and do it anyway. And she talks about expanding your comfort zone and that you only get one bite of the apple. So chronologically, talk me through leaving Hammond and then the jobs through then.
So freelance life, working commercially, that's very up and down because it can be like a 4-day job, it can be like a 1-day job. So it's not like a set contract. Great for freedom, but not necessarily stability.
And what sort of jobs were these?
So back in the day, there was a lot of fashion shows in the north as well, like in the Trafford Centre. We used to do bridal, we used to do the high street. Yeah, and they used to be like pretty much every weekend, but they sort of died off after like 2015, 2016, I'd say. And then other things were like I got into doing campaigns like for hair brands.
Oh, wow. Talk me through that. How do you get into that, Amy?
It's crazy because hairdressers actually are like us. They're so like out there and creative as well. So they approach quite a few commercial agencies to do hair shows.
Right.
And then from there, you sort of meet people in that world, in hair industry world, and then you get chatting and they like you or they want to use you for their brands. But again, it's the whole people thing. You have to sort of open your mouth. Yeah, and then I'm trying to think what else. So yeah, that was like freelance life. And then when I was 21, I went on a ship.
Right.
So I auditioned for Cunard and went on Cunard and did 2 ships with them.
And how was that? Was that as a dancer?
That was a dancer, yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of the best experiences of my life, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I was young and I'm glad I did it when I was young. It's not for everyone, and if it's not for you, then that's more than, but it was a really good experience, and I think I was very lucky with the cast that I had. Everybody got on really, really well. And again, learnt loads of new different styles as well, like ballroom and Latin styles, which was really cool.
Wow. So there were 2 contracts of the ship. And why did you stop the ship life then?
So I got to a point where I was like, I feel, oh God, I don't want to say anything to sway anyone, but I needed more stability, basically.
Yeah.
I'd realised I'd had my fun, but I needed a bit more like a home base.
Yeah.
And I wanted to explore other things that were going on here, like other jobs.
Cool.
Some people, like, they just never stop. I can understand it's addictive. It's very addictive.
Yeah. I've never done one, but it really interests me. I did get 2 contracts of it, but then got the job in Hamburg, Buddy Holly musical one. So I went and did that, do you know what I mean? But everybody has such a different experience on it.
Yeah. I think it depends on who you're with.
Yeah. What are the rehearsals like for it?
Our rehearsals, I did it through a production company called Kudos, and our rehearsals were in Scarborough. So we rehearsed there for, I think it was 2 months. Yeah, like 8 weeks, yeah. And we were putting these cottages up there and putting a house together. It was a little bit like Big Brother, to be honest. It was very fun. We had a pub next door. Dangerous. Yeah. Yeah, and then those rehearsal days, it was Monday to Friday and Saturday mornings, and you learn, how many shows did we learn? I think we learned like 4 big shows and then like about 5 or 6 little shows.
So if you compare like the dance shows that you've done here and then the shows that you did on the ship, what are the similarities and differences, like the content of it and the length of it and how much you have to learn and stuff, you know?
Yeah. So I'm not gonna lie, when you first arrive into a ship rehearsal, you do feel overwhelmed by the amount that you're gonna have to learn. But like dancers just adapt, don't they? They just get into the swing of it and you think it's fine. So the shows are about an hour and a half long, the big ones. And on my ship, each show had a different style, and it was perfect because it was very similar to stuff we'd done at Hammond.
Wow.
So it was like musical shows. So like we had things like snippets from Les Mis, Miss Saigon, but they were all like tiny, like one songs from each musical put into one show. So very musical theatre based, technical jazz, partner work. And then obviously I was just a dancer, but you have your singers as well that, you know, lead and sing. And then we had another show which was like Passionata, which was more like very partner work based, Latin ballroom, waltz, that kind of style. Yeah, it was great. It was proper old school show business, you know, like technique through and through. My choreographer was Alan Hardin. He's like been going for years. I think he used to choreograph like Stars in Their Eyes and, you know, like old school TV. I loved it because I felt like it was like my foundation of training I'd had with you guys.
And then you went into, what did you go into after the cruises?
Okay, so I came back to London. What the hell did I do after that? Oh God. I was a swing for a little bit at Legoland. Don't ask. Crazy. Then what did I do after that? I did like showgirly bits.
Yeah.
I'd been in this group called the It Girls. We are like a cabaret group, and the choreographer had sort of found me through word of mouth, and we specialised in like luxury events.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we were doing like, it was for like different brands, so like for BT, Claridge's, things like that. And it would be like on a weekly sort of gig basis.
Amazing.
So yeah, I went back to pretty much being freelance and just winging it.
And did you find it difficult to get back into after being on the ships?
Yeah, I definitely had that fear of, oh no, I've gone away, I'm not going to be remembered, I've been replaced. But I would encourage people to not think like that, because I think that's what stops a lot of people. You definitely have that assumption, that's human nature, but if you come back and you get the ball rolling as fast as you can, it doesn't affect you.
How did you get the ball rolling? Talk me through that.
I thought before I was coming off, I definitely emailed people. I let my agents know when I was going to be home so that I could, if there was castings or auditions coming up, then I could go straight into that and wasn't waiting around for like a few weeks to pick up on, you know, being seen.
Yeah. You say agents.
Agents, yeah.
So how many?
At that time, I had a musical theatre agent, so I emailed her. She was London based. Who else did I email? So I'm going to say agent's name because I feel like this would be beneficial
Do it,
for people.
please.
So like Mass Movement, they're still a huge like commercial agency, and yeah, they get really good jobs. My musical theatre agent at the time was Gilbert and Payne. Again, brilliant, really good contacts, really good shows, you know, like Strictly, things like that, if you're interested in that. And then like my little commercial ones, like also Mark Summers, just anyone that you can sort of send your stuff to and be like, I'm home, please, I'd love to be seen.
So you had quite a few people to contact already there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Where did you get those contacts from?
So before I'd gone on the ship, I'd really delved into like emailing and being seen by those agents. So I sort of secured like a position with them before I'd left. I think as well that's really important to be upfront and honest with whoever's representing you. They need to know where you are, what you're doing, because otherwise, how can they help you? And I was really scared to be like that at first. I thought that made me very pushy and a bit like in your face. But it's just building that relationship with them and being respectful with them as well and saying, this is where I'm going, what I'm doing. And I think you're in their head a bit more as well when you're like that, because they think, oh, she's got her shit together.
Yeah.
And we know when she's here and when she's not. So it works well for them as well.
I mean, I think again, is it the northerner thing in us? This modesty thing where we go, oh, I don't want to bother them. I don't want to disturb. You know what I mean? Whereas really what we need to be doing is being proactive, because otherwise we could be seen as lazy, actually.
Yeah, you never think of it like that, do you? Yeah.
No, but
it's very true.
We should.
Yeah. I think you think, oh, I don't want to bother them, or I don't want to
They're
seem
so
too pushy.
busy. Oh.
Yeah.
So going into acting, how did you go into the acting side of things?
I'll be honest, I can't really class myself as an actress. I don't feel like I've got enough credits to say that, but I've obviously had jobs where sort of modelling has combined acting for commercials and stuff. The acting at Hammond was fabulous, by the way. Acting was like my favourite thing at Hammond.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a real good base, I think.
Yeah.
I think with acting as well, you just have to sort of wing it. That's what I've done. I know that's not very good advice, but just be confident that you can deliver what they're asking you.
Why
And
is
with
that not good advice? Why
It's
is it not good advice, Amy, to say wing it and be confident that you could do what they're asking you to do? Otherwise, you wouldn't have got the job in the first place anyway.
yeah.
Surely.
To be honest, I would say that like 99% of what you're doing is going to feel like winging it.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. I
100%.
agree.
Yeah.
Sometimes it still does now.
No one really knows what they're doing, do they?
That's part of the joy of it, though. And that's why it's called creative, isn't it?
Yeah, that's so true. I've had so many conversations with performers like that, like just blagging it, just blagging it. Yeah,
But not scared to do it. I think a lot of the people I teach at the moment are terrified of opening up and going over that, the comfort zone. I think of it almost like a belt, and
yeah.
stepping over it and expanding that belt is really, really difficult. What advice would you give for that?
So the one thing that springs to my mind was the first advert I ever got was for Coca-Cola. And turned up at this casting, and when I say I was nervous, I was shaking. So they made a circle, like back in the day, like people used to make a circle and they push you in and you just have to freestyle. Don't know if they
Yeah.
still do that anymore. That was literally the casting for Coca-Cola, and they just wanted you, they put a house track on and they wanted you to do whatever you felt was your strongest style and just show off, basically. I was in a room full of hip hop dancers. I
So
am,
this ex-ballet dancer,
yeah.
go
And I
girl.
was like, what the hell? Like, I cannot even begin. They're like snaking on the floor, they're like on their head. And I thought, I'm just going to have to like completely go with what I feel I can do best. And I thought, I'm going to do Irish dancing.
You demon.
So they pushed me in the middle, and I thought, it's now or never, feel the fear. And I did an Irish jig, and the whole room was like, and the choreographer looked at me, she raised her eyebrow and she went, that took balls and you're getting the job.
Oh,
Yeah. And I was like, if I had just, part of me wanted to crawl up my own and leave. I was like, I need to get out of this room. I need to get out of this room. And then I just had this moment of it's now or never. And I feel like that's what you've got to do in life. Do something every day that scares you because you just don't know where it's going to lead.
that is perfect advice.
Yeah.
Perfect. And the thing is it could have been a massive mistake.
Yeah. 100%.
But what would have been the worst thing that would have happened from that mistake? If it had been a mistake, which it certainly wasn't.
Nothing. Like people probably just would have been like, oh, she's a bit weird.
Bless. But you wouldn't have known anyway because you don't know what other people think. So who cares?
Yeah, honestly, like, and when you do things that scare you as well, that builds your confidence. So you're not going to lose anything.
Massively. Your confidence when you first started out after Hammond, you feel a little bit enclosed and a little bit in that box. Each time you went out of that box, went out of that comfort zone, or whatever you want to call it, or took those chances, how did that make you feel?
I think it reinforces that nothing's actually that bad. Like, what is the worst that's going to happen to you? Like, you've survived everything you've gone through. 9 times out of 10, it leads to somewhere better. You're growing, you're maturing, you're realizing that you are capable of what you think you can do. Does that answer your question?
Oh, massively. If you were so when you were in first year,
Mm.
what advice would you have given yourself?
I was very shy in first year.
Yes, you
Um,
were.
very. I was very underconfident. Didn't really know myself that well. Still hanging on to feeling like I was having to prove myself, but not doing a very good job of it. So I mean, it's hindsight, isn't it? You're just starting. I'd say these are some of your best years. You're gonna look back and feel such joy. So enjoy it.
Yeah.
Take everything that you can because you're surrounded by, my year was full of amazing people. And the training that I got, I knew at the time the training was good, but like really take it all in. Like, because this is the time where you're going to actually really develop and you're going to set that really strong foundation to go out there And it's okay if you don't feel like you know what you're doing. It's okay. Don't be hard on yourself. Like, take that pressure off. You're here to learn. You're here to like make the most of this experience and to take everything that you can. Like, my nan has this saying, like, you only get one bite of the apple. Be a greedy bugger.
I love
Yeah, like take everything you can from it. It's such a you're so lucky to be there. Like, but you don't see it at the time. But yeah,
that.
you are.
You
No.
just don't see it. What about in second year?
Yeah, second year was. I remember feeling like a different person in second year. I went in there with a much stronger mindset. I don't really know where that came from, to be honest. I think it was more like getting tired of your own thoughts, thinking just crack on now, crack on, and do what you say you're going to do.
I mean, but also you'd gone from being in a place where you'd been kicked out
Yeah,
and you're totally accepted here in that senior school. Do you know what I mean? And you go, okay, maybe I
yeah,
can be myself. That's what I felt when you were here. You came in second year and I was like, okay, right, she knows she belongs now.
yeah. I will also say though as well, like it's back to that thing of being with Northerners, because I've spoken to a lot of people that went to college in other areas and their experiences were completely different to mine, because everyone in my year was so supportive.
Yeah.
And we had genuine fun. We had a genuine laugh, and nobody was horrible. We all supported each other, and that was what made it so good. Like, everyone was so normal and humble, and but genuinely really talented as well. Like, it was a great bunch of people. So I
So
think
how
that's
does
where the
that
norms
differ
were.
to the other places where people have spoken to you about it?
So I've heard a lot of horror stories, I'm not gonna lie, from people I've been in cast with or whatever. Like, some colleges, a lot of problems with being told they're not good enough, bullying, abuse,
Oh no.
eating disorders, and then also like just a real sort of rivalry within their year. And it was never like that. Didn't have any of that going on.
It's more like let me help you and you help me, isn't it? So
Yeah.
it's more of a cast vibe, I would say.
Yeah, it was about like enjoying life and prioritizing fun. We had
Yeah.
fun outside of college as well. Like, we were so close. And I think that's what also made the experience so good. And we could all laugh at each other. We all knew how to have a laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Super important.
yeah, it
You know, I
is.
think that's super important. I think above all else, actually. All right, that's it for another episode. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And wherever you are on your performer's path, stay safe and sane, and let your creative light shine bright on whatever you do.